We spent a total of 36 weeks and 4 days in the caravan, which is 255 nights.
This is quality caravan vlogging.
Hi, welcome to the vlog. It's been a while since I got the big camera out. This is this stunning 4K, don't get too close. I've had a few messages from people checking if I'm okay because I hadn't done a vlog for probably 3 weeks or maybe even a month. So they were just checking if I was all right, which obviously here I am, look at me, I'm fine. And it's just been a little bit hectic of recent, so I haven't had a chance to pick up a camera and say silly stuff to it. So what has been going on, I hear you ask, or maybe you already know. Now you will already know if, of course, you're a member of the TalkWrench community. The reason, one of the reasons I set up TalkWrench is because with YouTube, there's obviously it's public domain, so people can just find your vlog and watch it, and you can say stuff, and you do get trolls. And I find that the more popular the vlog is, the more trolls you get. Now, obviously, it's not much of a problem for me of recent. If, for instance, I do a vlog on PHEVs, PEVs, or I don't know, cost of electricity on a campsite, that's quite a popular subject, and more people watch the vlog. And then, I mean, a few months ago, I shared with you the sort of comments that were pointed out to me on another forum. You know, they don't know me from Adam, and yet they seem to have a very strong opinion about me, which is good. I mean, it's good to have people have strong opinions about you, but not always good if it's those strong opinions are negative. The reason for setting up TalkWrench partly is that over there I can do additional content and share things with people that know me. Maybe they don't know me, but they watch my vlogs on a regular basis. But it also allows me to do things that are possibly not necessarily caravan related, or a little bit more personal to me. The point is, TalkWrench community members know a lot more about me than YouTube viewers do. Now that's fine. If you don't want to know more about me, I don't blame you. But if you do, then on TalkWrench community, it allows me to be a bit more open about stuff. What I was a bit more open about recently is our current situation. It's not necessarily a big secret, and I'm not doing it just so that people join TalkWrench community. I'm doing it for what I consider valid reasons. I have mentioned some of this on YouTube. Now, the reason at the beginning of our project, I started mentioning things, and then I had second thoughts about it for various reasons. Now, what we have been doing is back in February, end of February, March the 1st, but end of February, we sold our house and moved out of the house and moved into the caravan. So our plan was sell the house, become a cash buyer, and hopefully we'd quite quickly find a property. We didn't find one quite quickly, unfortunately, but we have now. Now, the reason I didn't say a lot about it on YouTube is because I don't know things like insurance, caravan insurance, car insurance, all those kind of things. If I went out publicly and started saying, we're living in the caravan, hey, I'm no fixed abode, you know, it doesn't take very much for someone from an insurance company to get wind of it, and then what happens? We lived in a caravan for 9 months. Now, that's opened my eyes quite a lot to van life. Now, this isn't a diss of any van lifers that, you know, I mean, mainly it's motorhomers, I guess, but, you know, everyone has their individual reasons, and other people probably enjoy it more than we did. And they're living in the caravan for 9 months. What issues did we have? Firstly, the address. Not having an address. Now, we used kids' addresses, and, you know, we've got post redirected to them. So not a problem as such. So we were going from site to site, obviously. I mean, you'll know part of it if you're a regular viewer, part of it we were in France. We've done some north of England stuff, south of England, but most of our time was spent in and around where we lived because of family and friends, really. So what that meant was us staying at the same sites quite regularly. So what I didn't realise, now this wouldn't have an effect on anybody really unless you're doing this kind of thing, is that, for instance, the Camping and Caravanning Club, they have a rule that says if you spend more than 60 days in a 30-day period on their sites, then they have reserved the right to ask you for a council tax bill. But of course, we fell foul of the more than 60 days in a 90-day period on any camping and caravan club site. I thought it might have been just one site, but it is on any of their network. So they reserved the right to ask you for a council tax bill. Well, reserved the right. They did email us and ask us, which we couldn't. So we rang them up, explained the situation. We are waiting for a property. I fully understand. Yes, I know what you mean, but the computer says no. So if you can't produce a council tax bill, you can't book any more sites until then. Now that was a pain, to say the least. Glasses for this section. During our period from I think maybe the 27th of February up until 14th of November. Yeah, we've been in nearly a month now. That's amazing. We spent a total of 36 weeks and 4 days in the caravan, which is 255 nights. Wow. And I have to say, the caravan itself has held up really well. We really genuinely had. Can we have any do we have any problems apart from me trashing the canopy, which I've yet to fix? It's never let us down. The heating's been fine. The water pump, everything has absolutely functioned as it should. So, credit where credit's due, Swift. Oh, I found that hard to say. No, seriously, the caravan's been fine. The only real issue we've got is that I think an issue a lot of people have with Swifts are the seats. These seats here, they kind of lose their sponginess. So we've gone out and bought some foam and put underneath and propped it up a bit. Something we did find, and you'll probably notice if you stay in the caravan for more than 2 weeks, is the bed. Really, it's okay for 2 weeks or for even 3 weeks. We've done a month before, but after that amount of time, for me, that bed was too small. You get a bit fed up with my feet touching the end wall, mid-bathroom. You've got that wall at the end, feet. So after about maybe 2 months, I started making up the bed at the front every night. And it's just because you just got more room. Sad, isn't it? But the caravans aren't really designed for long-term living. Having said that, neither are motorhomes. So, these people that live in them, hats off to them. I don't really know how they do it, because it's not like being on holiday. It's like living in a prison cell, and no matter how much you sugarcoat the travelling, not really the hitching up and unpacking and all that stuff. It's just having to go to another site every 28 days, and you get to a site and you think, I've only got like just over 3 weeks here, then I've got to move, and it's just sometimes you only move it. And another thing, where sites are quite near, you have to be off a site at 12, say, and you can't be on at 1, which isn't maybe too bad. But if you're on a private site, some private sites, you've got to be off at 10, and you can't. We've had a problem where we've had to be off at 10 and can't get on till 3. And the site's like less than an hour away. What are you going to do for like 4 hours? See what we did do, sat in services and sat in a lay-by. It's not. Anyway, back to the figures. Where were we? Gripping, isn't it? So we went to 44 sites in total, and as an average of stay of 5.7 nights. 5.7? Oh yeah, it's a 5.7 nights, so nearly 6 nights average stay. Get ready for this, folks. What do you think the site fees are? With spending basically 9 months in the caravan, site fees, £8,000. £8,000. Wow, that's an average of £31.74 a night. And I reckon I've changed the water and the toilet, emptied the toilet 85 times during that period. So I'm sorry, but I think that counts me as a caravan expert. So you better listen to me when I'm giving advice. So we found a house, actually a bungalow. We found a bungalow, and not too far from where we used to live, actually. The previous owner, unfortunately, had died, and the property had to go through probate. So there's a process that takes 16 weeks. We looked at it on July the 17th. I remember it well because on July the 18th, we were due to go to France, or we did go to France, actually. But about a month before that, we had a chat with an estate agent who said, we've got a property coming up. The owner's deceased and it's going to be on the market soon. We'll let you know when it comes on the market. So, that was about a month before it actually came on the market. So they didn't ring us. Of course, they didn't ring us. I was sitting on a CL. We're sitting on a CL at like 3 o'clock a day before we was going to France, and Bing had Rightmove alerts on. Rightmove had bungalows come up in where we wanted to live, the village we wanted to live. Quick, rang them up and said, "Can I view it today? I'm going to France tomorrow for 3 weeks. Can we view it at like 5 o'clock today?" Anyway, cut long story short, we managed to do the viewing, and after a bit of negotiation, whilst in France, via email, we kind of agreed on a price. Probate should take 16 weeks, but we had no idea when it was started. So in about the middle of October, we'd engaged solicitors, done all the searches and all that. In the middle of October, our solicitor told us that it had only just put in the probate application, and that takes 16 weeks. So we were absolutely, we were thinking we were going to be moving first week in November, going back by when we viewed it, and I thought it had already gone to probate. So that was a bit of a downer, to say the least. We were going to be in the caravan until at least the middle of January, so all over Christmas, which we didn't really want. So we went up north. We went to Bridlington, that area. We stayed on the cracking Bridlington Caravan and Motorhome Club site. Absolutely, what a fantastic site that is. However, they have a problem with flies. This was in October. It was cold. I didn't even think there were any flies in the cold, but we had, at one point, I know it's not a swarm, but we had 5 flies, big blue balls, in the caravan. Get the damn things out. It took me a whole evening trying to find them. And we read more reviews, and a lot of people are saying they had a problem with flies. And I don't understand exactly what it is. There's a few buildings around there that are malt factories or something like that. I don't know if that's got something to do with it. But it was actually my favourite site we'd been on ever. But it would put me off because of the flies situation. I know it sounds petty, but they're annoying, right? And if it was in the summer, it'd be unbearable. It was unbearable anyway. Anyway, so we went to Bridlington. Then we went. Actually, I'm wrong there. We were actually at North Yorkshire Moors Caravan and Motorhome site, and we stayed there for a week. Then we travelled down towards Bridlington, and on the way to Bridlington, Maddie got an email saying probate's been granted. Blimey, and to cut another long story short, we actually moved in on November the 14th, so it all worked out well in the end, although it was very stressful, and being in the caravan for a long period of time is very stressful. It's not really that the caravan's small, but it's that you've constantly got to find pitches, find campsites, and I've mentioned it 2 years running now on the website. The amount of sites that close in the winter is ridiculous. There was I can't remember the numbers now. I'll put them. There was only something like 22 camping and caravan club sites open for the whole year out of the whole network. And of course, we know most CLs are shut in the winter anyway because they're probably grass. So 22 sites open. I'm not going to have a rant too much in this, but we do pay for 12-month membership, and for, where are we, say October, November, December, January, February, 6 months you're without most sites. That was my update, really. I just wanted to tell you what we've been doing, and trying to encourage you to think about joining the Talk Wrench community, because there's a lot more content on there. Actually, over the last couple of weeks, it hasn't been because I've been bogged down with the house and stuff like that. But with a lot to do on the house now, the bungalow. Now, I don't want to go all camper vibe and start doing most of the content into how we're renovating the house, although, by the way, they do a fantastic job of that, and we do watch them. I don't think that's really a caravan vibe. Caravan YouTube channels are mainly how-tos, aren't they? You don't get motorhome channels being how-tos. They're very, very, they just go to the garage, right? But caravanners like to DIY because we're in a different financial situation to a lot of motorhomers, I think. A wild generalisation, of course. Well, actually, probably most of the big YouTube channels, most of them, but 3 of them, are sorry, I threw that random non-fact in there. I threw myself. 3 of them. Where did I get that from? Maybe not. Maybe big. I don't know. I'll take that back. I'll edit it out. No, I won't. I always say I'll edit it out, and I'll leave it in because I like to. So most YouTube channels from the caravan perspective are follow a certain, or the successful ones follow a certain formula. If you deviate too much from that if you're doing every day your how to, I mean, Dan Trudgeon mentioned this before. I gave Dan Trudgeon enough shout outs as it is, but he did mention it, that he does the vlogs he does, and when he does holiday vlogs, his views drop, which means he doesn't get recommended to so many people, and then that affects his whole viewing kind of analytics. And I agree with that. I think it is true. I've always tried to be a YouTube channel that does different things. I paid a price for that, of course. Anyway, let's not get into all that. So, on Talk Wrench. So I did think what I do. A couple of things I'm getting involved in that. One is obviously the renovation of the bungalow. It needs a lot of stuff doing to it. Not that I'll be doing a lot of it. I'll be doing some of it, but just following the progress of how we're doing with the bungalow. Another thing that I'm trying to start up again is model railways. Right. You're not, if you're into it, you understand it. If you're not, you're just going to probably turn off now. But I know Colin's Caravan Capers, he was mentioning that he was going to start another YouTube channel up, which I have already subscribed to, and he's doing model railways, and it's an interest to me. My thinking then was I might do some renovation type videos, and then some, obviously caravan videos are going to keep going on YouTube, but over at Talk Wrench I'll be doing caravan videos that I don't do on here, unseen footage, things that I don't really want to speak to the general public about, renovation, model railways, all sorts of stuff like that. And also at the back, the main backbone of that is caravanning, and it's a good community. Everybody on there is fantastic. Everybody's really helpful. We have a laugh. It isn't always about caravanning. This time of year it's probably 10% caravanning, but you still get conversation with people. I know there are quite a few people that are solo caravanners on there, and I think that's really good, because it's kind of the kind of audience I'd like to encourage as well. Because I think when you're on your own, not that I've caravanned on my own a lot, but I have, and it's good to have a community behind you, just to offload stuff. If you're moaning about saying, oh my god, this is just broken, has anyone done this, that kind of thing. Beginners and experts and everyone in between. So that's it. That's pretty much all the facts and figures I wanted to throw at you about our last 9 months in the caravan. Has it put me off caravanning? Temporarily, it has put us off caravanning. Yes, I'm in the caravan now. I haven't really been in the caravan since we took all the stuff out. We haven't even really tidied up, and the bedroom is full of bags and bags of clothes. Why don't I show you a bit of outside, just to show you the kind of plot we're on? Might interest you. If not, thanks for watching. Merry Christmas if I don't speak to you before. If I don't do another vlog before then, stick with me. I'll show you a bit outside. Right, I really don't want to freak my neighbours out, so I'll just do a bit. So there's the caravan there, on the drive. Next to it is a shed. Now what I plan to do is kind of move the shed up and extend the drive that way, so I can bring the caravan all the way into the garden there. As you can see, it's been unloved for quite some time. And that's the garden there. Hopefully I'm going to put a shed somewhere around there for my trains. So that's the caravan, as you can see there. But what we're going to do is all this. I'm probably going to use some of that plastic block stuff that you put gravel in. Actually, I didn't explain that very well. It's kind of like plastic grids that you sink into the grass, just to make it more stable, so that I can at least bring the caravan kind of up here. So that's it. That's just a quick look at where we are, just kind of give you an idea of the plot. So we're doing a lot more work on there. If you're interested in that kind of thing, then I will put stuff on Talk Wrench community. I do videos on there, post all the vlogs up there as well. All the vlogs on there are advert free. And if you are a Talk Wrench community member already, don't worry, I'm not going to flood you with renovation stuff, but you can watch it if you like, can't you? There you go. Win-win. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Merry Christmas if I don't speak to you before. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.
This is quality caravan vlogging.